As we move all the aquariums from my home to the aquarium gallery, I'm now presented with the hardest aquarium and most dangerous aquarium I will ever move. My wife's aquarium. Not only is this tank not going to fit through the door because it's 32 inches wide, 32 inches long, 16 inches tall, but the door here is only 24 inches, meaning that if I wanted to fit it through there, I've got to tilt it up like this. This is the only aquarium she really loves and really cared about. So I said, look, I'm going to give you a 4-foot long tank, but all of this has to be stripped out and we've got to transfer everything within it to the new tank. And that, my friends, is why it is literally the most dangerous tank. There is absolutely no chance that I can disappoint her. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, she also has no idea that I was doing this in the first place. I'm gonna surprise her at the end of this video with her new aquarium. Move the rocks first is what I'm thinking. And then I'm not sure if I want to move the Valisaria, which all melts out in the gallery, but look how it took over her tank. Or do I move the rocks and then the dwarf satch? I think I'm going to start with the rocks. And we all must admit this is a beautiful aquarium. My worries are simple. Not only can I recreate this aquarium, but will the plants survive out there? We know the dwarf Sagittaria will. We don't know if the Valisaria will. It's going to look messy at first, but it will certainly look better over time. Again, we'll start with the rocks. I feel horrible, but it all must come. Oh wow, these rocks are huge! I was not expecting that. And look at the size of this rock. Now, typically speaking, when we looked at it, we only seen here, but the plants. So that's why you gotta kind of like plan around your plants and whatnot. Let's get this. I don't know if I'm strong enough to get that big rock with one. Ooh, I just touched a fish. The fish in here are rope fish. She absolutely loves them. I find them disgusting. I call them nope fish. They remind me of snakes. So if you're in the reptile hobby and if you ever wanted to get a fish, consider rope fish. Identical. I don't know if I can pick this one up. Look at the size of it. How'd I get it in there? Oh man. I remember using sponge. I'm so scared to grab like a rope. How much sponge is in here? A lot. Did anybody know this was in here? Oh, all this val's growing on it. Well, with Tamara coming out to the gallery, maybe she can give us some tips and tricks on how to keep plants alive. Oh my lord, there's a lot of rocks in here. In comparison to what we thought. There's more sponge. I can feel it. What is going on? I'm doing this all like blind too. Is that a sponge? I don't even know what's in here at this point. I'm in big trouble. Big old container of rocks. Ugh. And hopefully she doesn't come in here tonight. So the aquarium in question that we're moving everything to is a 4-foot long acrylic tank that I built. It's 48 inches long, 16 inches wide, 16 inches tall. The aquarium that they're coming from is 32 inches by 32 inches by 16 inches. And she knows this is going to happen. However, her only request was she likes to see the val grow up all along the back and the sides and kind of drape over. And she likes the smooth rocks. I'm thinking I'm going to make 2 rock structures. I'll try to make it as similar as it once was. I'm going to need a stool. I tore my bicep the other day, so this is really difficult for me to do. I'm not putting out a bunch of sponge again this time. Oh. I've got enough substrate in there that it just sits there like that. I feel like that's tall enough. Nice big juicy rock to kind of fill that gap. Almost make it look like it's a part of it. Yeah. I need a smaller boulder to go in front of it. And the smaller boulder in front of it is simple. I want it to see this like little divot here. And I kind of want it to match up with that and not be overwhelming. Another one. See how simple rocks can be? These river stones. Now, I can't plant in here or in front of it, which is fine. That means no plants will grow up and, you know, block the visual of the rocks. You gotta think long term with this stuff too. Let's think of another rock structure. We don't have big rocks left. So maybe these. This one's forward more, so we're gonna put this one back more. Maybe something like this. You know what I should do? Yeah, I'm gonna create my own giant stone. One thing you don't wanna do though is if I put this one here and then I put this rock structure right here as if it were equal, like it's too symmetrical. It doesn't look natural at all. But you see how I used one round stone to elevate another? I've got to hide the bottom stone somehow. So then it will become almost like a rock slide or rock pile of some sort. And we'll see what it looks like. But we also know that ropefish like to hide amongst these types of rocks and whatnot. So we kind of want to give them crevices and caves and stuff. Mind you, I'm literally using rocks from local areas that I just grabbed and picked up. I think this could be perfect. I think that we can. I think I might. Geez, that valve gets so tall. I think we need more rocks. I've got some more outside. Okay, maybe something like these ones, literally from outside. A bunch of grass and stuff all over them. I could rinse them, but they've already been treated from past projects. Doesn't this need something behind it? See how this is a river stone, right? But it's got a flat edge. It looks like it could almost go flat up against here. Rocks will always, look how it looks so like that's what happened. We just kind of want to look at the rock and place it in the right type of situation where it looks natural, but they can also prove to be functional and supporting. I'm not a huge fan of these rocks over here piling up like this, so I might make some adjustments. I don't like you. I don't like this rock because it's got these chiseled edges into it, and no other rock does, so it doesn't get to be a part. Because it didn't happen to any other rock, so why that one? It would just stand out like a sore thumb. And I'm left with this perfect river stone from the Salmon River here in Nova Scotia, Canada. Do I place it over here, or do I continue with the idea there over? I think it's over here, and I think it's right there. Two tiny little rock piles. I actually love it. I love this one more than I love this one. This one seems far more natural than this one. So we can change that. And I think it could be changed relatively simply by manipulating the rocks in such a way that they just kind of like grip together. Yeah, I can rock with that now. This doesn't suit it because this rock's so small and so flat that the plants are going to hide it anyway. It's just going to be like a bald spot. But maybe do something like that. There you go. And I'm going to call that hardscape a day. I like it. Okay, so first things first, I think I'm going to grab some dwarf sage. The Valisaria looks like it kind of choked off a lot of it, so I don't know if we have enough or as much as I once thought. What I do know is that I had to get my son to hold the camera, so Tamara still doesn't know because she's out visiting her grandparents, and I've got to get this done fast. Oh my Lord, it won't come out. This is going to get messy fast because I have to... Oh, there's a ropefish. Look at that. I'm going to do dwarf sage first. She's going to be so angry that I did this to her tank. This is her prized aquarium. I mean, the plus side is there's way too many plants for the 4-foot tank. The downside is this one's going to be destroyed. The plus side is the new tank's going to look amazing. Look what I just did. 2 clumps. I don't even know what else I can grab. I can't see anymore, so rip up what I can. Obviously this stuff's going to grow. The other plus side is whatever we don't get tonight, we can use in other tanks another day. Oh my Lord. Okay, let's go plant this and then we'll circle back. It's a lot of plants. Like that should be able to cover this, but once we put it in there, it's not going to look as lush. What I'm hoping I can actually do though is potentially maybe plant these in clumps. And what I mean by clumps is I take a chunk and I kind of maybe plant it like that. We'll see. It's usually not a good idea and you typically want to plant them individually, but ain't nobody got time for that. I really hope I can do this tank justice. It's my wife and all. They're gonna spread, but I'm gonna plant them in ways that I typically don't. I don't think I can plant them like this. They just begin to fall apart, but I can. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna have to plant them in clumps. They'll look horrible at first, but they'll come through the substrate and they'll do their own thing. I like to push them down quite a bit until they look like they might not survive, but that whole thing that I just showed you was right there. I am not hopeful. About making this look good right now to impress her, but I think long term, just like all the tanks that I've done for her, they eventually do look absolutely phenomenal. And this is what I mean by I can plant all of them, which I did, but then it looks shoddy. It looks like I didn't plant anything. It'll fill in. Now, the vals. So now the Valisaria, look at how much I have left. And once we kind of get an idea of what's out there, you'll realize and you'll see that we have far more plants to go to far. I've never uprooted a val before though. I don't know how their roots are structured. Oh, they're connected. It's like one living body. Oh my Lord. I wonder if I can put Val in other tanks. I was talking about escaping the electric eel tank, so maybe I could. There is so many plants in here. Oh boy. And a rock, 2 rocks. Ah! And a rope fish. Disgusting. There's something gooey in this one. I don't know what that was. Oh Lord. Well, the more the merrier, I guess. I think I might have too much. 2.5 gallons. So I'm going to have to fill this or scape it or plant these plants as this tank is filling because, well, the valve's just going to hang over. This tank is 16 inches. I would estimate these guys to be much wider than that. Valves send off shooters, just like this. And this is what you're supposed to plant. However, this is way too long for this. And I'm going to do something that's incredibly controversial in the hobby. And that is cut them down. I've heard both sides of the story. Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't, but and you should always prune valve by just like removing from different areas, but we have so darn much that I really wanted to see in the riskiest tank ever what would happen if I just did it that way. Let's jam it in. We're going to do this by chunks. Planting by chunks is usually not a good idea either. Maybe she won't notice. And what I want to do is go to the top of the tank with the roots and then the top of the soil. Jam it in there with my fingers. I might have like literally destroyed this tank. I'm planning to take a bit of it and use it in Tyrese's tank as well. Another clump. Oh my Lord, look how long this gets. I feel horrible for doing this because if it doesn't grow, she's gonna lose it. You want to cut them at an angle. There's so much. I mean, if this doesn't work out, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm relatively excited to plant this in the electric eels aquarium as well. I mean, when I planted this originally, it all began to melt. So both tanks here are done. It kind of looks horrible because I can't technically fill them up all the way or they will overflow down below through their overflow pipe into an aquarium that is not there right now. That's actually the next tank that I'm moving today, 180 gallon, taking it up from the basement and getting it under here, filtration hooked up, the plumbing, etc. Hopefully that works out well. I've got to scape that tank first. I'm planting it for the electric eel. But if we look up at Tyrese's aquarium, first thing you're going to notice is there is more plants in it right now. We were able to add more, especially Val. You won't believe how much plants is still left in the rope fish, which is music to my ears because I'm going to use it in a ton of tanks since we have so darn much. However, the aquarium in question, if we come over here, is this. Now things are starting to kind of look a little bit better with these rock piles. I know that at first you were probably looking at them thinking, man, this is not going to look good. There's no way this is going to look good. But we also have to remember that these rope fish are going to want to get in to these rock piles. They wind themselves up, poke their heads out, and I've created a bunch of miniature caves for them. The valve was snipped, and when the tank water fills all the way, the valve's going to go to the surface of the water and then begin to grow once more. I do have some lights installed right now, but only one of them came on. But this tank, in my opinion, looks really good. having that really deep aquarium, that the 32-inch tank that was originally for the rope fish, is a fun tank, but you couldn't really see the fish. The tank was just so deep. The valve took over everything. It's going to try to again, and I'm going to allow it to fill in all the gaps in between here, but I'm not going to let it come closer to the, once it gets kind of like to the rocks, maybe, I'm going to stop it on the other side by plucking it out, and then I just want the dwarf sage to really fill in everywhere else. And within about a 3-month span, this tank's going to look absolutely phenomenal. Now, putting some val over here was on purpose because we kind of look at this tank. It starts with swords. We do have dwarf sage as well. We do have cryptocorin, and then we'll have some val over here, which is going to blow this way. And then we jump right into more val. It's almost like a continuation. Same substrate and everything, even the same type of rocks, but no wood in this one. It almost looks like this could have been one continuous aquarium. And then the next 3 tanks are saltwater, as well as the one below it. And then the following 2 are freshwater, as well as the one below it. Now, I've got to move this 180-gallon aquarium, but I've got some news, and I'm going to show you briefly. And of course, it just rained. These packages just came today. These are not small packages. They are enormous. 2 here and 2 over here. That's everything for the 2,000-gallon aquarium. So now I've got to unbox these and figure out that scape. I think I'm just going to unbox them, show you guys what's in them, kind of talk about the game plan and go from there. Because, well, if you don't know, I also got to get out of here soon because I have to go to Toronto. I'm going to the ADA aquascaping event, as well as the Canadian Pet Expo for September. Doing some really cool stuff there. But all of these tanks have to be moved before I even go, so I'll try to get all the videos filmed. Everything's not going to be edited and uploaded. I think I can move everything in time before I have to leave, but let's take a look and see what we've got left. I didn't realize I took all of the rocks and a lot of the val. I thought I took far less. Look at these rope fish in there. And the remaining bit of val kind of twisted into a spiral because of the flow of the tank, caused them to do a bit of a tornado. But look how much. We're going to take all of that and put it in a 180-gallon aquarium for the electric eel. I think he's going to really like swimming through it all like that as well. But super cool. Not looking forward to grabbing more of the val out of this tank though, because those rope fish are gross. But if we look over, lots of tanks gone. We're moving that fire 180 over there today. We got to move this 180, move this tank here, everything in the back. It's a lot of work, and I have like 5 days to do it. But I can do it. Oh, there goes a rope. We're going to be able to see these guys a lot more. See how they swim through the grass and stuff? Super cool. Remind me of snakes. So I call them nope ropes. Okay, here, put this on. Okay, so you know that I'm moving the rope fish tank. Yes. And kind of upgrading them to a bigger aquarium, and I just wanted to show you kind of like the progress of what it's looking like right now. Ooh.
What have you done? A menace to society.
That looks like more of a scape you would have did.
No!
Do you want to see their new tank?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Look how many plants are left.
Why is your hair soaking?
Because I just showered.
Oh, I thought you were in the rain or something.
Oh,
do you like it?
It's nice, yeah. Trimmed the tops off.
I had to, so otherwise they would have just
back over.
They will.
I know. I just.
Oh, that one's just got its roots out. I'm gonna have to fix it.
I like it though. I think they'll like it. Looks like there's holes for them to hide in the.
Yeah, I have a strange feeling that this is gonna be like their little apartment. You're gonna have like all their little heads poking out, maybe one over here. Yeah. But the bottom line is you're now gonna be able to see your ropes, your nope ropes. You like it?
They're nice. Yes, okay. I do. And we need a good lid. Yeah. So they can't get out. Yeah. And hopefully you don't kill my val. So I worked hard to grow all this. You
didn't. You literally did nothing.
I worked really hard at not touching it.
Okay. But it's good?
It's good.
Good. Well, that's it, guys. Hopefully you think it's good as well. And if you do, let me know in the comment section below. Leave this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying this move of all of these aquariums. But I think one of the next videos might be unboxing all of those boxes. I'm not going to be able to wait till I get home. It'll be on my mind for over a week. I think I'm going to unbox them, see what it is, and then move the 180. Maybe when I get home, escape the 2000, because that's not really a priority right now. Hope you enjoyed the video, though. See you in the next one.